Hello, my name is Chong and this is my sample lesson. Today we're going to be mimicking what a first day activity or exercise in my class may look like. So none of my volunteer students have seen what I'm going to be teaching today, nor am I going to be assuming that I know their names. All right. Okay, so for our first day of class, I need you guys, for our very first activity, to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil. And on the top right corner, I need you to write your name and the date. Easiest 5 points you can earn and start with an A in my class. And once you're finished, just look at me, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready to move on.
Mr. Chong, what day is it?
Today is the 24th. Yes?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a sentence on the board and then we're just going to analyze it together. So for my visual learners, I'm just going to put it up. Let me move over. Okay. Now, I put on the board the sentence, they gave us a hearty welcome. You're not going to have to write this down. Now, what I need you to do is picture into your head, when I just say the simple sentence, they gave us a hearty welcome, and you're picturing that scene in your head, name 5 things that you see. What kind of room are you in? Are there chairs there? What's the furniture like? What do the walls look like? Is it a big room, a small room? 5 things that you see. Just place your pens down so I know when you're finished. Okay, I'm not going to move on until I hear 3 collective things from the class. Don't raise your hand, just tell me, what are you guys seeing? Give me some words. Throw it out.
Warm, it's warm.
It's warm, I love that. Somebody else, your name is?
Jack.
Jack, it's very nice to meet you. What else? Somebody else.
Couch.
Couch, you see a couch. Somebody else.
People are smiling.
People are smiling, smiling people. Now, let's break this down even further. What do you guys hear? What type of music? What genre? Is it rock? Is it alternative? Is it indie? Is it rap?
I just hear the fireplace.
You hear fireplace. Yes, what else?
Probably jazz.
I love that. You hear jazz. Now, when I say the word they in this sentence, what type of people are they? What do they look like? Do they have facial hair? How are they dressed?
They look like Vikings. They have beards.
They look like Vikings. They have beards. That's wonderful. Next. Did you see the same thing?
Yeah, I saw beards. They weren't Vikings.
You saw beards. And Jack already touched up on this, but in this room, would you guys agree? Is it warm? Is it cold? What do you guys feel on your skin?
I agree with Jack. I think it's warm.
Yes, you agree with Jack. Now, last question. If they're serving food here, what type of food are they serving?
Pot roast.
Pot roast. I love that. What else?
Stew.
Stew. Now, for the second thing that you guys are going to write, and then this is the last thing you guys are going to have to write for full credit, I'm going to write another sentence and we're going to do the same thing. They gave us a cordial reception. If you guys are visual learners, I'm also writing it on the board right now. Doesn't have to be complete sentences. You can just write down 5 things that you see in this room. and just place your pens down so I know that you're done. Great. Same thing again. I'm not going to move on until I hear 3 things. Just shout them out. No need to raise your hands.
It's not as warm here.
It's not as warm. It's a little bit colder. Yes, keep on going.
There's paintings on the walls.
There's paintings on the wall. And one last thing.
It's more formal, not as friendly.
It's more formal. Yeah, how are they dressed? Are they dressed more formal?
Yes.
They are? What type of music do you guys hear in this? We said jazz and we said almost alternative, if I remember correctly.
There wasn't music, just
Oh,
a fireplace.
a fireplace, that's why. Now, in this cordial reception, is it loud or is it quiet?
It's soft, like classical music.
Okay. And the people, are they loud or are they quietly talking to each other?
They're almost demure.
Yeah, demure, I love that word. Now, they gave us a cordial reception. When I say that, last question, when you guys think of the food that they're serving, what are you guys eating?
Tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets, okay?
Fancy stuff.
Fancy stuff. And here's my final question before we move on. Between these 2 sentences, who's wealthier? The second sentence where they gave us a cordial reception, or the first one where they gave us a hearty welcome?
Probably the reception.
Probably the reception?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now take a pause, place your pencils down. You guys are totally done for the writing assignment. I know this isn't a history class, but I'm going to give you guys a quick little history lesson on the English island. Now, in the 700s, Vikings actually came and invaded England. And with them, they brought a language called what we now refer to as Old Norse. And Old Norse kind of infiltrated what had already become Old English, and they formed something new together, and that was the language for over 300 years. Now, things changed when in 1066, what used to be the Vikings and who used to rule the island of England was overcome by the French. And then the French actually came in and they started bringing in their own language. Now take a pause and just remember that. What we're going to do is we're going to analyze these 2 sentences and show the differences. They gave us a, the first 4 words of each sentence are the same. Now, hearty, I know this is a little silly, but just point to the place of your body you think of when I say hearty. Yeah, your heart. Now, for my athletes in the room, when I say the word cordial, and core is a Latin base, do any of you guys know what the word core comes from? Think of cardiovascular. What is cardiovascular exercise? What are you guys doing? Yes?
You're raising your heart rate.
Yeah, you're raising your heart rate. So what we see is the first one literally says heart, so we know that it means heart, or hearty means heart, and cordial contains the Latin root for what we now know as heart. So those 2 words are the same. Now, when I say the word welcome, what does the word welcome mean? Keep it simple.
Means to receive.
Yeah, to receive, to take in. You're bringing in something. Now, I love how you said the word receive, because when we look at the first 5 letters of reception, what does that word remind us of that you just said?
Same word.
Yeah, reception. We're taking in. So what we have to do is we have to wonder, between these 2 sentences, when we look at welcome and reception, they have the same base. When we look at hearty and when we look at cordial, they also mean the exact same things. But why did we think of 2 different meanings? And I'm going to tell you why. Is remember how I said in the 700s, Old Norse actually came in, and those were the language of the peasants. That was the common language. What we get at the top is when we say they gave us a hearty welcome. These were the peasants. These were the working class. These were the salt of the earth. When we move down and we say they gave us a cordial reception, that's when the French came in, and the French actually became the ruling class of England. So when we thought of people who are wealthier, when we thought of it as a little bit colder, we thought of it as hushed tones where they're a little bit dressed nicer, and tuxedos where there's classical music and where it's a little bit quieter. It's because we have the history of wealth, we have the history of nobility, we have the history of people who ruled over these people up on top. Now, many of you guys coming into this year probably didn't know that this was Old Norse and it was spoken by peasants, and this was a newer version of French. Still old, but a newer version. But you guys were still able to understand and conceptualize the history of your guys' words. And now for me, for my entire adult life, I have been working with students, and something I've understood about students your guys' age is that you guys are very, very passionate about changing the world or changing things, and you guys care about certain issues. Whether it's your guys' music or your guys' TV shows or the movies that you guys watch, it always seems like there's a message that revolves around what you guys believe in. And I think that something really interesting going on with your generation is that you guys are always trying to make things better. Even if it doesn't apply to yourself, you guys are trying to change things for your neighbors, for your friends, for your parents. And with that being said, in this class we're going to learn how to utilize language. We're going to learn how to manipulate words in such a way that you guys are going to become better writers, better thinkers, better communicators of what you guys believe to be the truth. And where even if you guys were to sit across from somebody who blatantly disagreed with you guys will be able to speak in such a way where they will have no other option than to listen to you guys, because you guys will speak with power and you guys will speak with the full richness of our historical language. Now, before I move on, before I let you guys out of this class, is there any one question, and I just need one brave soul, at least one, to just ask me a question of what this class might look like? Is there anything that I can do to provide some clarity? Yes, Jack.
On the syllabus, it wasn't very clear how much our homework was worth instead of our tests. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so I actually like to break it down where tests are worth about the same amount as homework. So there's participation, there's homework, and tests, and there's some other sections. And each of those 5 sections that I laid out, it's just going to be divided into 5. So each part is going to be worth 20%. Great question. Thanks, Jack. All right, thank you all.